Yo, my people, like, are we in the Matrix right now? Like, has someone, cast like a Nizanami or is using some sort of Sharingan genjutsu out here? Like, well, what is going on? Is 2022, and, we had like two big events this weekend. We had the CCS, the Colosseum Championship Series event, the 3v3, and we had the Dragonrider event as well, the Dragonrider Championship Series event. And two big online events, and we had Invoked. Aleister the Invoker taking down the 3v3, the CCS 3v3, and then we had Phantom Knights taking down the Dragonrider event. Like, guys, like, we're in 2022, man, and like, these are decks from 2017, 2016, which are still winning. This is crazy. Like, are we stuck in some kind of time loop? I don't know, man. What is going on? Let's get right into it. Alright guys, all jokes aside, let's get down into business. So, it's your boy JY, and we're coming at you with a TCG Metagame Breakdown. So, two big online events. Dragonrider Games had a big tournament, 111 players. And then we had the Colosseum 3v3. They had 36 teams, 108 players playing the event. So, two pretty big online events. And let's have a look at what people played, and let's see what the meta is. Let's see what the meta is saying. Yeah, let's have a look. So, before we get into the specifics of each event, we're going to just do an overview of like both events. We're quite lucky. Raphael Reich did like a combination like breakdown of both events, just combining the representation of both events and the stats from both, just to give us like an overview of like what entered each event and then what made it to like the top cut. So yeah, shout out to him. He's done some breakdowns as well on his channel. So check him out if you want to see his perspective on things. So yeah, let's have a look. Right at the top, Sword Soul taking the most amount of spots, to be expected. It's a really solid deck, and Protoss is really powerful, being able to like lock out a lot of different decks. And it is really good going second as well with the 10 Ys. That is like the most popular build right now, and I think that is probably the best way to play it. So yeah, Sword Soul taking the most spots. And then Lyrilusk coming in second, to be expected. The build-up deck is very, very powerful. And it's a solid deck. It probably has the best turn one combo in the game. Like so far, like, in the current meta, the best turn one combo, like you have like an Avian, like Robin with 4 bounces, Utopic Draco Future negating, double Dragon Lords bouncing, and an Oath engraved to negate like another spell trap like Droplets or Dark Ruler. Absolutely insane. And then Invoked. Guys, you don't want to let this go, do you? Like, it's literally just like people are like attached to Aleister. They don't want to let him go. Since he was printed in 2017, the Aleister army just is going stronger and stronger and stronger. They just don't want to let him go. Like, they're in love, man. Like, it's like Farfa, like that meme was so perfect. Like the 2021 Spotify Wrapped, like normal summon Aleister. These guys just don't want to stop, but like, all jokes aside, again, like Aleister, like Invoked is a really strong option because you can play so many hand traps, and it's so good going second, and then it still has a pretty good going first because of like the Dogmatico engine, allowing them to set up the Shadow window, and also just having floodgates, like there can be only one. That's also really strong as well. So it has a really good going first and a really good going second. So makes sense. And then following that, we have Eldritch. Eldritch taking up a decent amount of spots as well. That's pretty cool to see. The trap deck is pretty powerful as well. And the next is Phantom Knights. Okay, that's your boy. Like the Phantom Knight guy right now. Yeah, that's cool to see as well. I'm not surprised to see such a small Phantom Knight showing, just because like the fact that like the Sword Soul deck has kind of evolved now. Like, they're playing the Heavenly Circles, and like they're really like heavy 10-year build, and they have really easy access to Protoss. So it's just that having that card in the Sword Soul deck really skews the matchup and makes it so unfavorable to play Phantom Knights. And similar with decks like Drytron as well, it just makes it so unfavorable to play those kinds of decks. But speaking about like Protoss, I'm so surprised to see Dragon Link having like the same level of showing as Phantom Knights. And it's crazy to see, like, especially you wouldn't think, like, if it's not good to play Phantom Knights, and Phantom Knights has like if you compare Phantom Knights to Dragon Link, like Phantom Knight has such a powerful turn one in the form of Scythe. Like, Scythe is like, just insane, and they can turbo it pretty much every single hand. And like, that pretty much just beats every deck. And it's surprising to see like Dragon Link being played when they don't have as strong as a turn one, and they also still lose to Protoss as well. But I do have to admit, I watched some feature matches, I watched some people play online, and some of these guys, the way they play this dragon deck is like unreal. It makes you almost think that it wasn't hit by the ban list, like the way they play it. So like, fair kudos to them, props to them for grinding it out and still like, making Dragon Link playable. So that's crazy to see too. And then we also have Sky Striker, having a decent showing as well. And again, Sky Striker, like, it has a lot of the benefits Invoke does, but I would just say it just has a weaker engine. Like that's the problem, and it has some consistency issues as well. But it's still a decent choice going into an event. And then we have like a bunch of Rogue. So the next one is going to be the event. So top 8 for the Dragonrider event and top 8 for the Colosseum event combined. And obviously Sword Soul having such a good conversion. There was what we saw, like 40 of them entered and then down to 7 in top. So still, they still took a decent amount of top cut, like pretty much the same portion they had in Swiss. And what a surprise, Prank Kids. Man, when I was watching the Colosseum event, like Prank Kids were just doing a madness. They were just out there like pranking everybody.
Oh, I guess you don't like pranks. I stole your car, just a prank, bro.
Like literally, these guys, like Pranks had such an insane conversion. Like you saw, they weren't even on the chart. They were in Rogue, and like that's just to show like there was such. I think like maybe only like less than 10 prank decks entered like both events combined, and to have like such a big showing at top, especially in the 3v3 in the Colosseum 3v3, Prank Kids were doing the most. They were cooking. Like they were really like they were on it, man. And like they were main decking 3 Mystic Minds and stuff, and it was really cool. I don't know if the deck lists have been posted. Some deck lists have been withheld because of the remote YCS coming up. We have the in next weekend, so some people are like sort of holding their lists, to play it for that event, which is fair enough. You need to keep whatever edge you can get in this game. And Prank Kids seemed like a really good meta call. Like it seemed really powerful, just locking people under mine. And also just having a 1-card combo and being able to play a bunch of hand traps and having a powerful engine. Like the Prank Kid engine is quite a powerful engine. Like Butler is really still absolutely insane, being able to just Regeki the board, multiple times. And having super strong follow-up as well, like a really good grind game, really good recursion. So that's crazy to see. Invoked, still having a solid conversion as well. And then Drytron, like this is unexpected. Seeing Drytron, like, again, similar reasons why Phantom Knight isn't played as much, like Protoss, and on top of that they have the Chao Feng, which like locks them out of lights because Baxia and Adhara make the Chao Feng. You can't activate any light effects, but people are still out here they don't want to give up. They want to play their decks, let them do what they want to do, and then Sky Striker having a decent conversion as well, Birds. And then Virtual World, 2 Virtual Worlds. I believe both of those must have been in the, or at least one of them was in the Colosseum event. A lot of people playing Virtual Worlds. I saw people playing on the Virtual World Sword Soul deck. I think Herman Hansen was playing the Virtual World Sword Soul deck as well. So it's quite interesting to see that deck being played. It's cool to see. Maybe he wasn't. Don't quote me on that. I know he was playing Virtual World. I'm not sure if it was with Sword Soul, but I did see someone playing the Virtual World Sword Soul deck. So don't quote me on that. Okay, so now let's get into the Colosseum event. So this is like the overall breakdown for the Colosseum event. So, a good portion of Sword Soul, pretty similar to what we saw earlier, to the other charts. And then if we go down to the top 8 breakdown of the Colosseum event, we have, 5 pranks. God, that's insane, man. Like 5 pranks, good amount of Sword Soul, Dragon Link, Sky Striker, 2 Drytron, 2 Virtual World. That's insane conversions there, man. Like that's crazy to see Drytron and Virtual World still making top. So I feel like it kind of shows, first thing I have to say is this event was a 3v3. So, and it was only 6 rounds. So you can't really base it all on that. For example, there was one guy, I don't want to say who he is. I'm not trying to flame him because he's a really good player, but like he played it, like he literally lost 5 rounds, but his 2 teammates went 6-0. So he managed to top. So you can't base, your thoughts, on the event exactly. Like you can use the breakdown as like a gauge for the meta, but you can't if you see a specific deck that's topping, it may have not been as good as it looks because it's a 3v3. You have your teammates that can carry you by playing meta decks, and a lot of teams opted to go for strategies where maybe 2 people play the same deck, 1 person played a different one, or 3 play different decks. So it's really hard to be able to tell with 3v3s. But it's really cool to see that you can just play whatever you want and hopefully teammates carry you when you lose. So that's just cool to see in general. Okay, now for specific lists for the Colosseum event, here's some of the deck lists. So we had the first place deck list. So Invoke did take first place. They beat the Luxury team in the final. It was a crazy match, man. Like, you know, Luxury were playing, and Luxury were on fire, man. They were playing really good. As you know, I saw Pac making some crazy plays. Harney was just like bodying people, and same with Heisem. Like they were putting in work, but when it came to the finals, man, they couldn't overcome the normal summon Aleister. It was just too strong for them. It was just too strong, man. Like, but yeah. So this is the one of the first place deck lists, Dennis Hager, and then we have Martin Friedrich, who also played almost the same deck. I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same deck. And then wait, that's the wrong one. I think if we go back, yeah, Dimitar Petrov. Also on their team, and they all pretty much played like, I think his list was slightly different, playing like Ghost Spell in the side deck instead of siding the aerial. So yeah, their lists are almost like identical, pretty much. It's invoked, you know. But yeah, it's a solid list. You know, one Mystic Mine in the main deck, Cheeky Mines. I watched them mine a few people, which was pretty wild. And they're all pretty much the same. Okay, and then we have some different lists. So this team, 3 driver, 1 gamma best deck. That's a good name. Virtual World, that's pretty nice. I love the interaction of Beatrice sending Token Collector. That's really, really cool to see in the side deck there. Beatrice is in Collector, and yeah, just it's cool to see just different decks topping. And what the thing is, we don't know what their records were specifically, so we don't know if it's only a 6-round event as well. But one thing I have to say about the Colosseum event though, it was stacked. Like YCS champions, Worlds competitors, like such a stacked event. Unfortunately, I didn't actually play in the event. That's, I guess, a little side story. Like I did plan to play. I had a team, 2 friends were gonna play in the event, but basically like the night before, it didn't look like there was many people that entered. It only looked like about 10 people had registered. So we thought it wasn't really worth entering. So we just like not enter and do something else instead for the weekend, because it's kind of rough committing your whole weekend just to play in like a 10 team event. But then like overnight, like 26 other teams joined, and it was like a 36 team event, which is like a 100 player event, which is, you know, worth entering. But at that point, everyone had made like different plans. So it didn't work out for us. But I had a lot of fun watching the stream. Like I tuned into the stream when I had some time in the evening, and on Sunday I watched the finals. And man, Deadly B7, Sebastian Todd, man, he really put in some work, man. He really had like a really fun stream, playing some classic music. And yeah, props to him for doing a really solid stream. But it really sucked to see that his internet went out in the finals, but it's all good. You're running a really solid show up until then. And yeah, let's back to the deck list. So we have some Sword Soul 10E lists. I'm not going to go into the specifics. Just gonna like browse through the list, because you know. Oh, prank kits. Okay, this is actually one maybe you want to have a better look at. 3 Mystic Mine in the main deck, skill drain. So these are just auto wins. Like having 5 cards in your deck that just say you win is pretty insane. But yeah, and you know, also, you know, there can be only one in the side deck. TC Boo's an insane floodgate as well. But yeah, cool list. Playing Verte for Thunder Dragon Fusion is pretty cool as well, especially the fact that even if the Verte gets negated, at least you have the Fusion for a follow-up on the next turn, which is super cool. So that's cool to see as well. They played the same lists. Yeah, and Dragon Links, seeing Dragon Link top was pretty wild. Playing Summon Limit in the side, that was a really interesting choice. There were some instances where the Summon Limit like actually backfired and hurt the Dragon Link player more than it benefited him. But it's interesting to see it as a floodgate. I don't know what the logic is behind it. I would love to hear the reasoning, because like Summon Limit seems like such like a card that can backfire on dragons, especially since they have Seal, and like after turn 1 they still summon a bunch of monsters to OTK. It's not just like a deck that summons monsters and just sits on them. Like they do a lot of times like have to like still push back. But it is also like an auto-win floodgate as well, so it is what it is. It probably could have been any other floodgate, I guess, like anti-spell fragrance, and still probably would have put in work. But yeah, and also you know, having Token Collector on the side and milling it off the Pabega ruler or the Chaos ruler is insane, man. Like milling Token Collector off Chaos ruler is just absolute plus. And then like imagine like you mill 5 and you mill like a Lancia, mill Token Collector, pick up the Lancia, and you have Token Collector engraved to hit them with, you know, when you summon like Moye or Taye or Long Young, it's just free. Okay, so that's back to the first place list. So I think we went through all the deck lists here that are available. Okay, so that's for the CCS. Oh, we got some more lists as well. This is top 8. So yeah, that was the top 4 lists, I believe. Yeah, these were the top 4. And then top 8 lists. So we have some Lyrlos Tri Brigade. We have some Drytron playing the Dragoon package. That's really interesting to see as well. And you know what's surprising to me as well is that like they're playing the artifact package in the side deck. You know, double Lancia, Scythe 3 Sanctum. That's interesting to see. And the Token Collectors. See, for me, what's surprising, I saw a lot of people playing the artifacts, but they also actually play the Dagda and also play DPE instead of playing the Dragoon, because DPE like allows you to like, you know, do the like use the artifacts on your opponent's turn off Dagda. But it's interesting to see this guy opted to play Dragoons instead. Like Dragoons is really powerful, and Dragoons like going second can be insane. Like if you just break through push through their board and like bait out all the negates and then Verte into Dragoon, that's just OTK almost every single time, which probably like won him a lot of games. But yeah, it's interesting to see this list as well. And again, Beatrice for Token Collector must have put in a lot of work. So at least there is like, they had like an edge if they won the dice roll against Sword Soul for having the Token Collectors there. But if they lose the dice roll against Sword Soul, then that's rough. But I guess you have your teammates to carry you in those situations, which is kind of cool. Okay, and that's the list that we already saw. And then Sky Strikers, you know, pretty standard kind of list. And then we have another bird list. This time mainly one Revolt. That's quite interesting to see. I guess it's like a backup plan. Oh wait, the bird engine is quite small. It's only playing the 3, only playing the Wagtails. Sorry, the 3 Warbler and the 1 Sparrow. So that's interesting here. Like not really a heavy bird engine. This is just basically a Tri-Brigade deck with a small bird package. Quite interesting as well. Team Hoodcake, that's a cool team name. I'm loving the team names as well. It's always funny to see what people come up with. Yeah, just a pretty cool virtual world list. No Beatrice here, sad face. I love Beatrice. Another Drytron deck. Okay, there we go. This is what I was talking about. You know, Scythe, DPE, and yeah, like having the 1 Plasma because you can, you know, potentially summon it in this deck, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's interesting to see that as well. Yeah, nice. You know, they can just turbo out Scythe and have the Herald, which is, you know, really insane. And 3 Fusion Destinies, you know, is underrated. Okay, and then we have another Prank Kids list. This one's quite interesting. Well, there's a lot of board breakers instead of hand traps. Main deck in the Floodgates as well. Like 3, there can only be 1. 3 Mystic Mine as well. Terraforming. That's insane. Like you can just go second, boom, like flood, you know, board break, Mystic Mine, or board break, you know, set. There can be only 1 and basically win from there, which is pretty insane as well. Interesting to see things like Doom Eagle in the extra deck. So you got to shuffle stuff back and jump into access code. That's pretty cool. Like you can out DPs with that. Interesting to see. Yeah, really cool lists here, man. Okay, another Sword Soul deck, and oh, okay, this is the person I was talking about, unfortunately. Ben K1, man. Yeah, you are really good, man. Like you're one of the best players out there. But it was sad to see you get memed. Nish had no mercy for you. Nish was memeing the shit out of you, man. Yeah, posted a bunch of memes because it was a really cool deck. Like it's a Sword Soul deck that utilizes like Needle Fiber into Auroradon to do like some synchro combos. But unfortunately, it didn't work out for Ben K1, man. Like he really just yeah, like got bodied, and yeah, but luckily his teammates were just on fire, man. His teammates, he was what was his team? He had Bodo Angel and Nico, and yeah, Nico's a, you know, YCS champion as well. So his teammates were just on fire, just going undefeated and carrying him through that event there. That's pretty cool to see. Yeah. But yes, it's a really cool deck, super cool concept. Unfortunately, just didn't work out for him. I don't know if like maybe the bricks were a bit too much, like not being able to play as much non-engine. Actually, he had a lot of non-engine Gammas. He summoned back Gamma a lot of times, which is really cool to see. Like he would summon back Gamma to make Fleur with Baxia and stuff. That was really cool as well. But yeah, unfortunately, didn't really work out for him in the best way. And in the extra deck, is that a Muddy Mud Dragon? Wow, Muddy Mud Dragon. So that's pretty cool. I'm guessing what would he make with the Muddy Mud Dragon? Would he make a Raijin? Oh, I guess you can make a Raijin. Yeah, that's pretty cool actually. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting to see. Yeah, Muddy Mud Dragon into Raijin. I'm assuming, like, I guess you can instant fusion into it as well, but then being able to muddy into it, I guess that's also pretty cool. I guess it will replace Aleister, and you just need a wind, and you can make the Raijin. That's pretty insane as well. Okay, and then that was the first list we looked at, the bird list. Interesting to see them siding the Oath. So yeah, that's the CCS 3v3, and now for the Dragonrider event. So let's see their specific breakdown. So again, very similar to what we saw before. Lot of Sword Soul, Tri-Brigade Lyrilusker, Invoked, Eldritch, PK, etc. And then that was a prizing, really solid prizing. So for the deck list, first place, Kurt Cobain, AC Milan, classic dueling book guy. He literally grinded BA out. He was one of the OG BA grinders on dueling books. So he went for PKBA, Phantom Knights DPE, very interesting list. He went for the Assault package, and he chose not to Scythe. Like, that's really interesting to see. He chose not to play Scythe whatsoever. But yeah, it was a very interesting list. Went for the Soul Day package, going for Renard, Fossil Dig, and Different Dimension Reincarnation, and went for quite a few hand traps as well. 7 hand traps in the main, and with obviously 3 drop lists, because that's a god card. So a very interesting list. I think Scythe is just too good to pass up on. I do understand going for the Assault Day package and just going for generating huge advantage, so you can just overwhelm your opponent and have a lot of interruptions with IP Masquerena, or he'd even play IP Masquerena. I guess just Appaloosa and your Folk Blades, and but I think Scythe is just too good to pass up on. But it's a very interesting list to say the least. On the finals, he played against Sky Striker. Again, another non-conventional, very different kind of list. Playing 46 cards. That's a lot of cards to play in Sky Striker. Sky Striker is definitely a 40 card deck, but it worked out for him. I would say the Dragonrider event was more a rogue event, because not to put anyone down or anything, but a lot of the top players went for the CCS, and then I think everyone else, they did have some notable players in the Dragonrider event, as well, but this event in general just had a lot more rogue decks, just from the looks of things. And Drytron top 4 as well, another interesting sort of list here. This time no fusion package, just a general Drytron list, just sticking to the rituals and the Drytrons. Okay. And then we have 60 card PK. I like to see 60 cards, but this is again this is going for the Soul Day package as well. But Curious and Griffin, let's go! I love to see that. I love to see Curious. I love to see Griffin. Man, that's insane. And being able to set Imperial Order or set any floodgate you want, that's nice, man. That's nice. He also sided the Underworld, Goddess of the Underworld, so you can out whatever monster you want with that, really. Just outs anything, which is cool to see. But yeah, that's really interesting, man. Quite a spicy list to say the least. 3 Pot of Prosperity, so you can dig into any of your cards. Interesting Frankendubs. I don't like the way the list has been organized, but it's interesting nonetheless, man. Very, very cool list. Denier and Malicious, 2 Maliciouses as well. Yeah, it's a really, really cool techie list. Scythe, at least he's playing a Scythe, so that's insane as well. But yeah, Broral Sword, so many interesting options, man. He only chose to play 1 Break Sword, 1 Leviair, 1 Zeus, so just only 3 Xyz monsters. That's such an interesting list. I would love to find out the theory behind this, and just hear more about how it works. Yeah, it's a really cool looking list. But yeah, made its top 4, won them $165, so that's that solid performance still. And then we have some Dragon Links, a lot of hand traps, against Summer Limit, so maybe this is just the wave. I don't know what it is about Summer Limit in particular, but maybe it is the wave. Galaxy Cyclones in the side, that's really cool to see because you can mill them off the Chaos Ruler. Yeah, cool, interesting list. And oh, I think they played, is that, no, I can't, let me have a closer look at that. Is that that looks like it's the Dark Armed Dragon, or the yeah, the Dark Armed Xyz. So let's get that up real quick. Yeah, let's get that up real quick. Yeah, so this is the Dark Armed Dragon Xyz. So once per turn, if you have exactly 5 Dark Monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon this using 1 level 5 or higher Dark Dragon monster you control as material. Detach 1 material from this card, and then target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it, and you can banish 1 card from you, or then banish 1 card from your graveyard. Also, this card can't attack for the rest of the turn. So that's interesting. I guess you can just like use it to out certain floodgates, I guess. Yeah, that's interesting to see. Just a free, summon over like a Levianeer or something to pop a card, or you can just summon it over Levianeer to attack if you have 5 Darks in your grave as well. After you've used Levianeer, so it gets you like an extra 2000 attack. So I guess it makes OTKs easier. But yeah, really interesting tech there. That's super cool to see. Okay, some more Drytron, Scythe DPE stuff. Oh, no, this being kept secret. I guess some lists are being kept secret as well from the Dragonrider event. Lyrilless Tri-Brigade with Small World, Dinotherium as the bridge for Small World. Interesting to see. Alpha Master of Beasts. Cool, really good to outboards. I'm assuming they can Small World into it as well, so they can just out stuff going second. And they can also use it as a bridge, I'm guessing, as well, which makes it really cool. Or Trap Trick in the side for the Harpies. Man, that is savage. They really like just reckless out here. Just like they really want to draw that Harpies and just body people. And that card needs to get banned. It's just such an unfair card. Yeah, the card is ridiculous. Like these cards that just say skip your turn, they just shouldn't be a thing. I hope you guys all enjoyed my metagame breakdown so far. So in summary, after looking at like all the results and all the various lists, it was very interesting to see how diverse the format was. I don't know if these kind of results would be replicated on like a YCS level or like a bigger event. I don't know like if decks like Prank Kids, Dragon Link, etc. would be able to survive playing like a 10-round event, because there'll be a lot less variance, and they're going to be playing a lot more Sword Soul matchups, because I think Sword Soul would be a very popular deck. It definitely would be like a third of the metagame out there. So at a big event, this is what I'm assuming. So I don't know if those kind of decks would have survived, even Drytron as well. So a lot of these sort of like tier 2 decks, I don't think they would have survived like a bigger event. But I'm glad that we got to see all those decks in action. It was really fun to watch them on stream. Really fun to watch them being played. Like some people still finessing Dragon Links, people still normal summoning Aleister. Like I'm sure that would definitely top big events, because there's always that one guy that breaks through with Aleister in his deck. So, but yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. And if you're still watching this far, I know YCS Utrecht and YCS Pasadena got cancelled. I'm inhaling that copium. I'm crying with you guys as well. I'm feeling for you. Like my heart goes out to you. Like I'm crying inside. Yeah, but anyways, if you're still watching, let me know what deck that you would have played if you got to enter the YCS. So let me know below, and yeah, like and subscribe for more. And last thing, I know this video is a bit long. I know normally people, when they do a metagame breakdown, they just do like a look at the pie charts, look at a few deck lists, and just call it a day. But I like to go into depth. I like to take my time and just look at all the lists and see all the interesting techs that people played. I found it really interesting. I found it fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, peace out. Take care.